Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 225 of the On Air Advocate. Where at the On Air Advocate, we look to provide education, support, and empowerment for all of those with different abilities, mental and medical illnesses, and their caregivers. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Tammy Flynn, and I'm the host and producer of the On Air Advocate. And I am super excited if you are here this morning joining us, or whether you are catching this on the replay. Now, as always, if you think any of the content that we're talking about today could be relevant for anyone in your network or your circle, please hit the share button on whatever social media application you're on and share the love with others. Well, if you guys have been following the On Air Advocate all month long, you know that August is always our resource series month. And I am so excited to welcome a new guest to the On Air Advocate platform, Samantha Johnson. She is the wife of one, mom of three, and the co-founder of the Champions Club. And I'm so happy to have you here, Samantha.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited.
Yes, and you have not been on the platform before. I know that I've been on your platform before, which is an awesome platform. And I would love for you to just give the audience a little bit about the background about yourself, family, and the Champions Club, and where that even came from.
Yeah, so my name is Samantha, and I've been married to my amazing husband, Craig, for 30 years. We have two children, two adult children, or three altogether, but two adults, and then our son, Connor. So my oldest son is 28, my daughter's 26, and then our son, Connor, is 17. And my husband and I had this amazing plan. We were going to get married when we were young and have our kids when we were young. So then when they grew up and moved out, we were still going to have all this time to travel and, everything. And we wanted a boy and a girl. And our plan was going amazing. We had the boy, we had the girl. And then when our kids were 10 and 12, we had a surprise pregnancy with our son, Connor, who is now 17. And so our plan kind of changed a little bit. And Connor even changed our plans even more because Connor was diagnosed with autism at about 2.5 years old. So he's kind of been our mission that we didn't even know was going to happen. And we love him so much, but it is definitely a journey that, we didn't plan, we didn't expect, but we're just, going through it the best that we can.
And so where did the Champions Club, was that born before?
That was born basically through our son, Connor. My husband and I have been in ministry our entire married life. And we were children's pastors, and we lived in California, and we had moved to Texas to Lakewood Church to be the children's pastors when they were moving into their new facility. And just a really exciting time. Connor was 1 when we moved to Houston, and we thought we were coming to Houston to, run the children's ministry, and we got everything set up. And, right about then is when we started noticing differences with our son. We got the diagnosis when he was about 2.5. And, we were already working in children's ministry, but we realized and we started noticing it was difficult to bring Connor to church with us. It was difficult to find that right environment. And we were having to, do all these extra steps to have him be able to come with us, or to even be able to have me, go to church. It was a lot easier to stay home with him, but we felt like we wanted him to be a part of the church experience. And so, my husband just started, noticing we've got all these amazing facilities for typical kids, but, our son isn't able to participate. And there were a few other people at the time that, had kids with special needs. And, we didn't even really know what the need was. We just honestly knew what the need was in our life. And so my husband got a team together with some doctors and therapists and parents, and they just kind of put together what we called the Champions Club. And it started there at Lakewood in about 12 years ago now it started. And we just thought we were going to, help, not even knowing how many. But once we got that started, it's basically 4 stations, and there's a sensory room, there's an education room, there's a motor room, there's spiritual rooms, and we work with the children while the parents attend church. And so it's just this really neat concept. The teachers and the educators, love these kids. And we ended up having over 300 families come just to experience this Champions Club for their kids. And so when it started growing at our church, other churches started asking, what can we do? We're noticing we're having families with special needs kids, and we don't know, what to do with them. And so that's where it kind of birthed from there. We now have over 80 in churches and schools and orphanages and daycares. It just it's expanded beyond what we, even dreamed of. There's one that's going to be starting in 2021 in a hospital. So it's just it's a God concept that we went on this journey with our son that we're now able to help so many other families experience.
And from reading, this is all around the world. So it's not just right here in the United States, correct? You have some facilities that are in churches and places outside.
They're in other countries. Yes, they're everywhere. It's really amazing. They're in Europe. They're in Sweden. We've got some in Africa. It's really, this is where God's taking it that we didn't even, expect. And so,
imagine.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And so is this a program then? So the first part of this is obviously the program itself kids can participate in, but the programming to put it into hospitals, to put it into a church, to do that, is that something where it's like a program that people purchase from the Champions organization, and then you teach them how to bring that model into their facility?
Yes, we've set up the whole structure from beginning to end, how to, fundraise, looking at their space and coming up with the best concept that would work for their position. Then we help to train the people that are going to be working with the kids. We have curriculums and we have, those are just continuing to go. There's a public school curriculum now that's almost finished. There's the church curriculum. There's just a lot of resources that doors have opened up that we've been able to help with. And, especially even with the pandemic, which we didn't know any of that was going to take place, but we really had to get creative and do things online because we noticed our kids were really missing the experience of going to the church. So our team was able to get together and take some of those lessons and produce videos that we were able to then put on YouTube. So the kids could watch service. It was almost like they were in person. They recognized the teachers and they recognized the material. And so, it's just part of our routine right now. You watch church online and then you're able to watch a Champions Club service, and there's singing, there's worship, there's activities. We post links on YouTube where they can print out the material and the lessons, and the parents can work with the children. So it turned into a fun little concept.
Now, if your facility, so the church you go to or the school you go to or the hospital you go to doesn't have the program there, are people just able to go to like Champions Club? I think it's at championsclub.com or whatever that was. Oh my gosh. My alarm is going off.
Oh, no. Yes, they can go to championsclub.org and it has the information.
It's battle is not yours, it's the Lord's. See, so it was right on time. The Lord was right on time.
Yes.
So if they're not able to participate that way with it being located in a facility, are they able to join something? Is there a fee to join that? Are they able to log on and get resources, start participating in some of your activities? How does that work if someone's doing it virtually and doesn't have a spot? Like this is the first time they're ever hearing about it.
Right. We have hopeforommyfamily.com. And this is a whole online kind of group that we offer devotionals. We offer group counseling. We offer finances. We offer our marriage. We've got a lot of resources that you can log in and be a part of. We've got the part that you were with us. We were with caregiver support groups where you're able to go through workbooks together. So it's a neat community that we have weekly, we have monthly. There's a whole schedule, that you're able to follow. But we try to offer as many resources as we can online because we know, not everybody is here in the area.
Okay. And is that a membership though? To do
It
that,
started out as a membership, but then with the pandemic and everything that took place, right now it is free, and we're not sure how long we're going to be able to do that. But definitely for the near future, that is something that is free that you can be a part of.
Okay, wonderful. And is there, with this being our resource series, I know that we're going to chat a little bit about a resource fair kind of you guys have coming up, but is there any great resources when we talk about parents that have children with unique abilities? And you said like your son on the autism spectrum. Are there any organizations that you work hand in hand with a great deal that you would recommend to parents to also check out?
There are so many good ones out there. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Um, I think we're right now just so focused on what our church offers that I think that's kind of the main one that I can just, think of. But yeah, we're able to help people with different disabilities. If we don't know, then we can, do our work to try to connect you with someone, even in your area, because we know everyone's so connected now online that you could live in completely different states. So we do like to help people if they contact us and say, hey, I live in Wisconsin. Do you know, resources? We can do that research to help them.
Okay, perfect. And tell me a little bit about this virtual kind of resource job fair that's coming up for you guys.
Yeah, this weekend on Saturday, normally we do it in person once a year, but this year it's going to be all virtual. And it's a resource for both families, for kids. There's going to be, I think, 30 different vendors that you can log on, and you can actually go into their vendor window and find out the information that they have. And then they also have a job fair where there's actual employers that are looking for people with disabilities that they would like to hire for employment. So they take you through an interview process and filling out the applications. And so that is happening this Saturday. It's 10 o'clock our time here in Houston, but that is something that you register for. It's free, but it is, I'm trying to find the registration. It's lakewoodchurch.com/special needs fair.
Okay. And when we wrap up and conclude the interview, possibly on Facebook, we could just drop some of those links below,
Okay.
in the comments and whatnot. So just easier for people to also be able to access
Sure.
with that. And one last thing, and I didn't tell you I was going to ask you, it's not really a trick question, but it's um, now you are a special needs mom, and this has taken you on this journey. If you were to give me one or two tips of advice coming just personally from you as we all go through this journey, what might that be?
I think it's just take one day at a time. God gives you grace for one day. Don't try to figure it all out. Don't try to plan 10 years down the road. I think each day, and I mean, there were times with our son where it was literally a day by, like, I didn't even want to think about tomorrow because it was so hard to get through, one day. But I think you may end the day exhausted, but you wake up the next day and God's going to give you grace for that day. He doesn't give you grace for the whole week or even the whole month. But I think if you just break it down to, okay, this is what we're going to do today. When I get through today, then we'll, focus on the next day. And I think that can go over with most children. You try to plan out what life is going to look like, but we all know it doesn't always, go perfectly. But I think just especially with special needs parents, just give yourself the grace for a day. And if it's not the most amazing day, just know that you get to start over again tomorrow, and hopefully it will, go better. If not, then there's another day after that. So I think it's just giving yourself that grace, not trying to be perfect, because none of us are perfect, but just trying to do it a day at a time.
I love that advice. And especially now, all these parents I see that are going to be homeschooling and the pandemic,
Yes.
that we all need to take a deep breath and realize that, you know, the sun does rise every morning and gives us a brand new start.
Yes.
As we go through this. Well, I want to thank you so much, Samantha, for being here this morning, sharing with us about the Champions Club. And definitely we're going to get those resources for everyone dropped below. Excited to see about the job fair and the resources that are coming up this weekend. But thank you so much for sharing with us this morning.
Thank you. It was great.
And for everyone else that is viewing, if you guys want to know any more about Samantha and the Champions Club, like I said, we'll be dropping those links below as well. And if you want to check out any of the resources from the On Air Advocate, head on over to onairadvocate.com and you'll find all of those right there. If you're viewing this on Facebook and you'd like to become part of our private community, head up to the top of this Facebook page, hit the blue button, and that will let you in. So that's all for this Thursday morning. Thank you guys very much. Everybody have a blessed day. Thanks again, Samantha.
Thank you. Bye-bye.